What's up, YouTube? It's your boy D Mac back again with another video, man. And today I want to talk about 5 myths about big wheels. Let's get into it. That's a good shake. If you guys never been to Culver's, man, you gotta go to Culver's. Get you a lemon ice smoothie. One of the best things you ever tasted. But back to what I was saying. So 5 myths about putting big rims on cars. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions, or there's a lot of misunderstandings about, the effects of putting big wheels on your car. So one of the biggest myths that I hear oftentimes is that putting big wheels on your car will ruin your transmission. And that can be true in certain situations, such as trying to put 24-inch wheels on a Prius. Stupid, right? I know. But just like anything else, you got to do things that make sense. If you want to put 24-inch wheels on a car, don't put it on a little 4-cylinder car. That's stupid. You know what I mean? You got to put wheels on a car within moderation, with something that makes sense. Putting 24-inch wheels on a Dodge Charger definitely will not ruin the transmission. This car is equipped with a 8-speed automatic transmission. It has a V8 Hemi engine in this car. There's no way that 24-inch wheels will ruin the transmission. So that's number one. It will not ruin the transmission for you. Number 2, you can't go fast with big wheels on your car. And like I said before with the last topic, that's partially true. You have to do things that make sense. It depends on what size the wheels are. It'll, that will really keep you from going fast. Let's just use my car for example, right? If I were to put 30-inch wheels on this car, of course it'll keep it from going fast, because that's stupid. The rims are way too big for this car. But with my 24s, no problem going fast. And there's even situations with like CJ on 32s. He has a Challenger on 34s, and he has no problem going fast in that car. You know why? Because he has a Pro Charger on the car. He built that car to be able to withstand the big wheels. You gotta do things that make sense, man. So people just throw out a blanket statement like, oh, you won't be able to go fast with big wheels, or it'll ruin your transmission. But usually I hear things like that from people that have little to no experience with big wheels. I'm talking about, when I say big wheels, I'm talking about 22s and up. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta do things that make sense. You can't do stupid stuff. of course you're not gonna be able to go real fast. It's gonna take speed away from your car if you put 30s on a Toyota Camry. Duh. That's common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta use your brain, man. Use your brain, make smart decisions. But yeah, that's number 2. It'll take away speed from your car. Not really, not if you know what you're doing, because I have no problem at all going fast in this car at all. Actually, in my case, putting the 24s on my car actually helped me, because I get a lot better traction when I'm driving. The 20-inch stock wheels and the stock tires that came on this car, they weren't sufficient enough, because this car has too much power for those size tires. But the speed thing, not really, man. You just gotta know what you're doing. Number 3, putting big wheels on your car makes it look ghetto. Now, I will admit that there are certain cars that just look completely ridiculous. And I'll throw some pictures up in this video to show you a couple of examples. But people that have experience putting big wheels on their car and know what they're doing, and that type of thing, I would never say, oh, that looks ghetto. I think some cars look ridiculous with the wheel sizes that some people put on certain cars. But once again, you gotta do things that make sense. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect to put 28s on a Corolla and think you're gonna be able to do everything you're able to do if it had factory tires on it. It's just not gonna happen. Number 4, people say, oh man, you can't make U-turns if you put big wheels on your car. Again, partially true. Depends on how big they are. Depends on what kind of car you got them on. Depends on what else have you done to it. If you cut it, if you have spacers, or things like that. Again, in my situation, I have zero problem making a full U-turn with 24s on this car. You have to do things that make sense. You have to do things in moderation. You have to do your research on things before you just make blanket statements, because certain cars, certain sizes, it just depends on what you're trying to do, what you are looking to do personally with your car, what size wheels you want, what size tires you want. All that stuff plays a factor into the function the function that you'll get when you put bigger wheels on your car. So the U-turn thing, that's not necessarily true either. It just depends on what you're trying to do. I would not advise someone to get a size rim on their car where you wouldn't be able to do a full U-turn, because then when you get to the point of doing a U-turn, you have to you got to make that turn back up and then go type of turn, and that can be real frustrating when you're driving around. So especially if you got a lot of people behind you and stuff like that. So people already can't drive these days. But yeah, that's another myth, misconception type of thing. And number 5, people say, oh, if you put big wheels on your car, you have to alter it or cut it or something like that to make it fit. Again, that's partially true in certain situations. Me, the only thing I had to do was just shave down the little bolt right above my my spindle, right above the spit sits right above the tire. So I mean, that wasn't really a big deal. Didn't really take any extra time or effort or much of anything to do that. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out my video about my tire issues. You'll see where I had to get the bolt shaved down, or my very first video, Charger on 24s, where I first got my rims put on. But in certain situations, yeah, you might have to alter the car or cut the car to make the rims fit. I would not advise you to do that. If you want some big rims like 26s, 28s, 30s, and they can't fit on your car the way it comes from factory, that means you don't need to put them on there, really. I mean, honestly, like, you shouldn't have to, when you have to start cutting your car, cutting the frame, cutting the inside of the wheel well and stuff like that, I would advise against it, man, because I've seen people do that, and then when they take their rims off for whatever reason, maybe they're they're trying to get some new tires, or even if you just decide to take them off and then you want to trade the car in, you want to trade your car in and get something different. Now, the trade-in value is going to be significantly less because you decided to cut the car to make big wheels fit. So I really would advise against doing that. If you are thinking about getting big wheels put on your car, and the size you want to get won't fit unless you do that, I'll just get a smaller size, man. Smaller size or smaller tires, or whatever you got to do to keep from doing that. Unless you just don't really care about long term with the trade-in and all that type of stuff, or if you might want to sell it, and if you don't really care about any of that stuff, hey, whatever floats your boat, man, go ahead, do you. But I wouldn't do that, because I think about a lot of different things as far as in the future, what I might want to do in the future and stuff like that. So I would not do it myself personally, but it's your car. At the end of the day, it's your money. You do what you want to do. I'm just trying to give my advice on the matter. So, everybody's going to do their own thing. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. About to go get me a car wash. Those were my 5 myths about big wheels. Thanks for watching the video, man. More to come. Stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that like button. Till next time, man. Peace.